So, Corey, thank you so much for joining us here. I know things have been crazy for us all, but what is going on with Phoenix Theaters?
Well, first of all, thank you for contacting us and
Sure,
asking us to participate. I appreciate that a lot.
absolutely.
We've been just basically we closed our theaters and we are awaiting further instructions from a lot of folks, to figure out how we're going to reopen our businesses and get back on track again.
Tell people who might not know a little bit about your theater chain.
Phoenix Theaters at Laurel Park Place in Livonia. We have the Classic State Wayne Theater, which is our theater that was built in 1946. That's in Wayne, Michigan. And then we have the Mall of Monroe Theater, which is in Monroe, Michigan, that has our premium large format Encore Auditorium.
What do you think is the greatest challenge facing, from your perspective? What's the greatest challenge facing the movie theater industry moving forward?
Well, moving forward, we have to make sure that the entire country can open again,
Yeah.
because this is, well, and for that matter, the entire world. If you look at the billions of dollars that were made last year in Avengers, that
Yeah.
is a good example of a lot of it was made here, but the worldwide total is really what pays for these films. And I guess the challenge here in this country is that you need New York and Los Angeles and Chicago and Dallas and Atlanta and Denver and Detroit and these big cities to be open for business again, so that films can be released across the country at one time. And I don't think that the studios right now, what they've basically done is they've taken the release schedule and just kept pushing it back and pushing it back. And right now it looks like everyone feels comfortable with mid-July. I think July 17th is the Tenant is
Yeah.
opening on July
Christopher
17th
Nolan.
with
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan. And Christopher Nolan seems to be very confident of keeping that date. And Warner's seems confident about keeping the date. And then a week later, we open up with Mulan from Walt Disney, that's been moved around the release
Hmm.
schedule to accommodate this situation as well. So that's all good news to see. And then the schedule has been dispersed in August and September and October, November, December, and even into next year. So I think that uh, so few pictures, incidentally, have gone to video on demand. And I know that's always a big topic today, but it seems that the studios realize, particularly with the larger tentpole films, that the only way they're going to make the kind of revenue they need to make is to have the theatrical distribution.
What's the interim, short term, look like for movie theaters that do open?
The public needs to have a sense of security about what's going on. And I think that I don't mind opening in July or late June to establish a little bit more community immunity, and also make sure that people are a little more accustomed to being out in public, before they try to take on any activities that involve group activities. And certainly, it doesn't do us any good if we don't have any film to play.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have any film to play until the studios can be have some level of comfort that you're going to have New York and LA and Chicago, all these big cities involved. I am, along with some of the other probably other major exhibitors you're talking to in
Hmm.
Michigan. We're part of a task force that NATO of Michigan. NATO is the National Association of Theater Owners of Michigan. We put together a group to study this and come up with plans that we can say that all of the theaters in Michigan that are NATO-based theaters, which is the majority of them, are going to follow these protocols, so that we all have a script and we know what we're going to be doing to make sure that we're meeting criteria, that it satisfies health departments, it satisfies the state government and the CDC and other folks, that we're being responsible as business people and doing everything we can to make sure that we can ensure the safety of, again, our customers and our employees.
That's fantastic. That's great to hear, and that's good too that all the theaters are working together on it. Because yeah, again, you don't want one theater chain doing something different than another theater chain, and then again, like to the consumer, it seems very like a gamble on which theater you're going to go to or whatever. It's good to know that there's like going to be some unity and some, commonalities in the movie going experience across the board.
I think that we're prepared to do a lot of things. And it depends on what the condition of the country is and what the science looks like at that point. You know, I believe that, certainly we have the capability. We just put in reserved seating in all of our auditoriums, which is really a nice feature, particularly now. We weren't expecting that this would come in handy, but, you can literally break up the seats in the sense that you could leave a seat in between the seats that are available for purchase. And that way you can social distance people by utilizing the computer. And, again, the vast majority of theaters, literally in the state of Michigan, have that capability. So that's a big plus if you can do that. It's really hard to predict where we're going to be at that point, but I think that we're sitting around collaborating and discussing what all those potential problems might look like. And I think that from a customer standpoint of view, we just want to let everybody know that a lot of thought is going into this to make sure that, that people can feel comfortable that all can be done and will be done to ensure people's safety and make sure they're comfortable with what we're doing, whether that's condiment stands, restrooms.
If somebody watching this wanted or listening to this wanted to find out specifically what's going on with Phoenix theaters during this pandemic, where could you point people to go?
We're on all the social media, and you can visit our website at phoenixmovies.net. And as things change and as we have more information, we'll certainly put them out there. There's a lot of ideas kicking around our office about how to make things better and do things during this time frame. So I think you'll see some things happen in the next week or two to keep people interested in what we're doing. And you know what, everyone can't wait to get back. So hopefully we'll get everything back to normal soon. And I hope everybody has a safe time of it, until then.